everyone, it's Chris, MTGO's RexDart, and we're back for round 6 in the Classic Quarter Invitational Qualifier for the fall here. And I've won the die roll. I'm up against Chris Cool, who's playing a Jund ramp deck with Orcish Lumberjacks, and it's certainly off the beaten path, but it's the kind of deck that if it's not up against a combo deck, it has a very good shot here of doing well, because it's going to dwarf the kind of creatures that I'm typically playing. And if he gets those good draws, but of course he doesn't really have any library manipulation, so that's the downfall there. But if he gets those good draws, then he's going to have the opportunity to dump some real fatties out there. He's also got Magus of the Moon, so there's kind of a all-in red sort of aspect to it as well. With the mana acceleration and everything, just dump a Magus of the Moon, disrupt me. Of course, I do have a Noble Hierarchs that will help a little bit, so I have to be careful there. He's also got, strangely, it looks like no wastelands here, so I don't have to worry about that. I can go ahead and fetch duels if I want to at my convenience. So now he has a lot of he has a lot of artifact hate, so relying on this Stoneforge Mystic I'm not so sure about, but I wonder if I keep this, if I might want to brainstorm end of turn. The other thing I have to worry about is he has 4 summoning traps, so if I counter any of his creatures, I could be looking at some ridiculous fatty. I haven't really decided how I want to play that, but I think that a lot of the time I may just have to go ahead and counter a fat creature with the hope of him whiffing or coming up with something, trivial, or just another lumberjack or something. I'm going to go ahead and keep this. And again, I don't have to worry about Wasteland. I just have to worry about Blood Moon. So the question there for me is, I can, if I want, use and I'm gonna have to get, I don't have basic planes, so I think I could start with basic island here, and then plan on fetching a white duel with the Heath next turn, I think. Alright, he's got a Heath. He's going to sack that. Gets a Taiga, see if he has a lumberjack. He mulled to 6, so the 7-card hand didn't have what he needed. Let's see, definitely he could have some really good 6-card hands here. Alright, there's a lumberjack. I'm going to go ahead and play my brainstorm now. Spell Pierce and a Tarmogoyf, huh? Spell Pierce does very little against him. It would basically only shuts down his naturalize tranquility thing there, and counters the actual summoning trap itself. Which of these lands am I going to shuffle away? I'm going to fetch a Tundra next turn with the Heath, so I can put the Tundra down there, and then I'm going to have to draw one of these cards anyways, so I guess I'll draw that doesn't matter. So alright, so he's got a lumberjack. Would have liked to have found the Swords to Plowshares there. Now he has a number of crazy 5 and 6 drops, including Colonian Hydra, a card that I kind of like to have fun with in Standard, but that you don't normally expect to see. The idea of the Orcish Lumberjacks, of course, the second turn, if you want, you can play land, tap both your lands, sack one of them to make 3, so you want to focus on 5 drops to maximize the Lumberjack. Alright, so this is going to fetch a white dual, probably the Tundra. I could fetch the Savannah, but I will have another green source here anyways. The Tundra. And Stoneforge Mystic. And I do have a choice here. I could get Sword of Fire and Ice, alternatively. That would let me beat through some of these red creatures. Of course, not necessarily the green ones that he has here. So it kind of depends what he's ramping into here. But I don't know, going with... that's hard to say. Because the Sword of Fire and Ice, I would be able to just cast off of, say, Magus of the Moon or something like that, whereas I wouldn't be able to cast it Batterskull for a couple of turns here. I'm going to go ahead and get the... boy, I don't know. It's a tough one. I think I'm going to try to get the sword. I think let's see how that works. And that gives me a way to get his Magus of the Moon off the board also, if he has one. Okay, well this could be something nasty here. He's going to have a Lotus Cobra, okay. Trigon Predator. Not going to do anything against him, and those are going to get boarded out. So here I can just plan on playing the sword out. See, it takes 2 to equip. I can use Stoneforge to plop it down, and I could leave something open. But Spell Pierce open against him doesn't really matter. I could play a Tarmogoyf this turn, and then the next turn I'm forced to use Stoneforge to dump the sword into play and then swing. I may just want to have the Trigon Predator because he's a flyer here. And that way, when I do dump the sword and equip, I should be able to get in with it. So let's try that. I think that's reasonable there. And I don't think he would block if I attacked with the Stoneforge Mystic, but I don't know if I really want to give him a... There's no way he's throwing away either of those creatures, but he's going to have something nasty next turn, but I don't... he could probably have something nasty with just one of them. So 1, 2, potentially 3, 4 off of Cobra, 5 off of Cobra, 6, 7, 8. Well, he spent 1, so he still has up to 7 mana available this turn if he has something. Okay. Well, alright. And he shipped the turn. Okay. Alright, we're going to swing in with Trigon Predator. Now, what do I want to kill? I guess I want to kill the See, Deathrite Shaman rams him, gains him some life. Well, not at the moment, but it will once I kill one of these things. Cobra next turn could be worth 1, 2, 3 land drops. Orcish Lumberjack is also worth 3 mana, but he does have to sack the land. So I think we kill the Cobra here. And then I drew another Stoneforge Mystic. And he's seeing what happens here. Okay. And then we shift the turn. With the Cobra gone, he decides to go ahead and fetch here. Alright, he could have a 6 up. See, okay, so he had Seeds of Innocence there. Okay. So I could, I can play Stoneforge, fetch Batterskull if I want. Alternatively, I could play. Well, I could do the Stoneforge fetching Batterskull and get a Tarmogoyf. The other play would be Jace bouncing one of these. Probably the Orcish Lumberjack. And but then next turn he could still cast a 5-cost creature because of the Deathrite Shaman being on the board. So I don't know if he has like Sire of Insanity in his deck, which that could be nasty, and I would probably want to have a Brainstorm left up if he does that. But yeah, gosh, that's a tough call. Sire of Insanity's at 6, so if I Jace bounce Lumberjack, or I could Jace Brainstorm, but I don't know. I'd have to hit a land and a Swords to Plowshares to make this worth anything. So I think, if it's anything but Sire of Insanity, then Jace ends up being okay. Or I could main phase Brainstorm here and possibly hit a land and something. I could hide Jace on the top in case that's what he has. Now, but if I Stoneforge, I'm gonna have to shuffle. Okay, I tell you what, let's Brainstorm. I know at a minimum I really don't want that Spell Pierce, so. Oh, okay. Swords to Plowshares. Although if I'm doing that, I'm on the Goyf and Swords plan. Or I could leave Swords to Plowshares. Okay, so Stoneforge is going to shuffle something away if I play her. But if I don't play her, then I could just play. I'd say I could put Spell Pierce on the bottom and then shuffle that away next time. And just like Swords the Lumberjack. And play a Goyf. Might be okay. Okay, put Jace on the top so I can draw him next time. Okay, yeah. Alright, I'm going to put Spell Pierce on top, followed by Jace. And then I'm going to cast a... Now let's go ahead and attack first. Okay, well here that's blanking that, so I'm going to swing with Trigon Predator. now I'm going to Swords the Lumberjack. And cast a Tarmogoyf. So he has up to 5 mana right now if he doesn't hit another land drop. If he does hit a land drop, then he could cast one of his Haymakers, in which case my plan is to top deck the Jace. Okay, he's just got another Deathrite Shaman. Alright, those things are going to keep him in the game, that's for sure. Alright, so I'm going to top deck the Jace. This turn, I'm definitely going to shuffle away that Spell Pierce by using the Stoneforge Mystic to fetch the Batterskull. So first, I'm going to go ahead and attack. And he's going to, alright, knock me down a little bit there. Okay. But now here I could just run out the Jace. So I don't want to lose my chance to be able to run out the Jace. Or, well, I don't know, I think I've probably just about got him through anything here. Let's go ahead and play the Stoneforge Mystic. Fetching the Batterskull. And another Tarmogoyf, and ship the turn. Now he was able to shrink my Tarmogoyf by getting rid of, I guess, the sorcery that was in the yard. Oh, he's got another. That's interesting. Okay. Alright, so he plays Seeds of Innocence and scoops there. Let's see. So, Selkies are going to be bad because he has no islands. And what might he bring in against me? Probably additional removal would seem good, and the Red Elemental Blast and Pyroblast would seem good, and I think Stormbreath Dragon could be a likely one as well. Unfortunately, I don't really have anything to deal with that. And I don't guess any of this really does anything for me. Yeah, that kind of stinks. I don't really have anything to bring in against this deck. He's going to have, nothing I can do about that Stormbreath Dragon. And then, what's his other one? He has some kind of, what is this thing? Okay, it puts him back to, yeah, so that's not going to, actually, he's kind of a cute anti-dredge playing cards can't be targeted. Yeah. Gosh, yeah, this is just terrible because I just have nothing to bring in against him, and like those Selkies are just awful. But I know I don't want Spell Pierce. In fact, I would normally want to board this one out. Well, I guess if he's boarding in extra removal, you know, I mean, that's better than the Selkie. The Selkie's just not going to do nothing against him because he's got no islands. So if he's boarding in extra removal, then maybe the Spell Pierces suddenly become okay. Alternatively, I could use Steel Sabotage, like bounce my own equipment in response to him Seeds of Innocencing. That seems pretty loose. So I don't know. I think I'm going to go with this configuration here. Go ahead and submit. So let's go to game 2. Yeah, normally I wouldn't even want Spell Pierce against him, but I have nothing else to bring in, and if his board plan is what I anticipate it to be, then that may, you know, turn out to be alright. Well, this hand has a Swords to Plowshares, which I could use on an early mana guy, or I could leave open for whatever he ramps into. And it has plenty of lands, including a couple of basics. So, I think I will keep it, but it's debatable. It really depends on what kind of hand he's playing. And he kept his 7, so he likes it, obviously. He's got a Taiga and a Lumberjack. Alright, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and fetch a white here. And just kill that Lumberjack right now. And hope that the rest of his hand was all haymakers. So he has a Cobra here. That's... oh, he's got Deathrite Shaman. Okay. Not as explosive, but over the course of the game, that's going to do him a lot better. Certainly makes my Tarmogoyf weaker here as well. He'll be able to take out that instant spell if he gets some black mana. Brainstorm, huh? Is Brainstorm right now better than... I don't have a fetch, so I don't know if that's better right now than running out the Tarmogoyf. And then what am I going to have that I'm brainstorming into that I would cast this turn? I don't think there is. So this turn I will play the Tarmogoyf, and then I plan on brainstorming next turn. Possibly I draw into a fetch land that I can use to get rid of a couple dead lands. Alright, so he has 3 mana at present available. Alright, well, okay, I did well there. He must be sitting on a hand with some kind of big fatty. It's the only thing that really makes sense. Alright, if I swing in here, he can't exile anything. So I'm probably safe to just swing with the Tarmogoyf. See, he doesn't have black mana, so... Alright. And here I could just keep the pressure on and play a Trigon Predator. Or I can brainstorm and look for something more interesting. And right now, other than Swords to Plowshares, to remove this Deathrite Shaman because he's kind of hung up right now. And I think he's probably a mana or 2 away from anything totally awesome. So I think I'll just put the pressure on and cast the Trigon Predator. Let's just keep the beats going. Oh, he's got a Pyroblast. All right. Well, I'm a lot happier that he spent that on Trigon Predator in the long run than I am about him hitting my Brainstorm. Alright, so he's going to eat that Trigon Predator, shrinking down the Tarmogoyf. Did he find a Cobra or something? Oh, he's got another Lumberjack. Okay. Alright, well this turn, definitely being aware that he could make red mana with that Deathrite Shaman if he has another Pyroblast, but this turn definitely brainstorming, I think. Yeah. Brainstorm. Yeah, that's pretty weak. Well, I don't think any of his guys are legendary that he... Well, Kazul, I guess, is. Yeah. Well, I want to be able to cast both Hierarchs this turn. So we'll, that is really disturbing. I'm going to be drawing nothing but land for a couple of turns. Yeah, this is what it is. So put that back, and that back, play that. See, so he can, no, he can't shrink that right now. Now, if he has any kind of action at all in his hand, which I assume he does, or else he wouldn't have kept that hand, then I'm in definitely in a pickle here. I can hard cast a Force of Will next turn. Okay, he's going to get that Goyf shrunk down by just using all the lands. This turn he'll use another. And I don't have any fetches, so... Alright, yeah, he's got something coming down. He's got 5 mana. Ugh, Stormbreath Dragon. That is sick. Okay. Alright. Alright, well, if he has another fatty, I can hardcast a Force on it. He may, of course, have Summoning Trap, but that's just something I'd have to deal with. And right now, regardless of what else goes on, that Shaman is going to help him win the race. I've got one more turn to draw on blanks for certain, so he's not going to attack with Stormbreath Dragon. Okay. Now let's see, it costs 7 to monstrous it. Did he click through his... I think he may have clicked through on accident. That's why I don't play, if I can at all avoid it, on laptops. Because every time I've tried to play on a laptop, I end up doing something stupid like that. Yeah, it's that's, I mean, a lot of people seem to be able to play on laptops. I'm not one of them. And my laptop seems to give me trouble. It's very sensitive. The touchpad clicker thing. Okay, well, I'm still drawing a blank here. Another trop. So he's got. Let's see. Brainstorm, Sword Splash. I've got 2 instants. I've got instant and land. So the thing is, if I attack here, he's a 4/5, but he can use Deathrite Shaman to eat that Catacombs and shrink my my Goyf back down to where it would die to the Stormbreath Dragon. So I don't really get to attack here, unfortunately. Well, I got a lot of things here that would be all right if I could draw into some action. Unfortunately, he still has a lot of pressure on me. And of course, this time he will untap. He can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, not enough to activate the monstrous ability on that, but the monstrous ability only worth a couple damage directly, but making it a 7/7, give him a chance to possibly close out the game next turn. If he had any black mana, he would be doing so much better here. All right, so now he is going to shrink the Goyf. And he's got a red. What's he going to cast? Magus of the Moon. And so the question here is, I can hardcast Force of Will on that. But it doesn't really screw me up that bad because I have 2 Noble Hierarchs and basics. So it's just inviting him to have a summoning trap. Now it does get to chump my Goyf, which, yeah, well, it is what it is. Again, I have 2 basics and Noble Hierarchs. There's no reason to hardcast a Force there and let him summoning trap into something that's just going to win the game on the spot for him. Another Tarmogoyf is not what I was looking for there. So, Alright, well, I think he's in good spot here then. He'll be able next turn, he'll have 4 coming in there. Okay. Yeah, this has been kind of an odd game. He's been really kind of stalled on lands for a while. He has plenty of ways to make mana, but they do eat his lands when he does them. Right now he has no lands to eat with Deathrite Shaman, but of course if he sacks one to Orcish Lumberjack he will. So he still has theoretically 6 mana available here. Of course he could always hardcast a Summoning Trap. That's another option if he has one of those in hand. Okay, so he's going to do all that. Puts him at 5. Okay, well that has to be countered. If he has Summoning Trap, then he does, whatever. But that was going to wipe my board, so... Okay, he does. See if he whiffs. Oh, he found another Caldera Hellion? Oh, that is sick. Okay. Yeah, that, you know, I wouldn't have probably counted anything but a Caldera Hellion, and then sure enough, he manages to Summoning Trap into another Caldera Hellion. That's very unfortunate for me, so... Okay, well, I have basically nothing I can do to Stormbreath Dragon. Stoneforge Mystic's not going to do jack here, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I can Stoneforge and like hard cast a Batterskull, but what am I going to do with it except just chump a Caldera Hellion? I can search it up the sword and equip the sword, and then I could block the Caldera Hellion. But I'm still dead in 2 turns to that Stormbreath Dragon. Well, yeah. even equipping the batter skull only makes her a 5/6, so she can't even profitably block the Hellion on her own. It does gain me some life, though. Maybe I could just play the little game of resetting the thing, but I'm burning time here now. So putting the sword on her this turn lets me block the Caldera Hellion with impunity, but I'm still taking 4 damage from the Stormbreath Dragon. And if I put the Batterskull out there, Batterskull chumps Caldera Hellion, puts me to 11, but then I take back to 7 from this, and then the following turn I can threaten the equip, swing 5, and go back to 12, but then he doesn't win on the crackback there. Maybe that is the right play. Okay. He does attack with both, and I have to block. I could at my option block with Stoneforge Mystic, but that's silly. No need to do that. Alright, puts me back at 7. He's got a land, okay. Alright. Trigon Predator. Well, okay, let's see. I can... can I cast Trigon that leaves me 4 left? That's not enough to bounce and screw the Batterskull. So he's got 10 damage coming in next turn, but I'm going to, if he doesn't have instant speed artifact removal, I'm going to gain 5 this turn, go to 12 off of that. Alright, puts him at 4. Now I can gain additional life by blocking on the crackback. Now he may have some removal here. I guess he doesn't. Oh, he does not swing. Okay. Oh, there's a brainstorm, huh? Okay, so yeah, he has pro white, so any damage I would do to him is going to be redirected. But if I run out the Trigon Predator here, then next turn I could equip the Batterskull to the Trigon Predator. Blue. Alright, he goes to 3 to fetch. So he could have a Seeds here. That's possible. Oh, what is he doing? Now, if he had a Seeds, he would need to crack the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. So he can hard cast like a Colonian Hydra or something. I don't know what else he has in there. Molder Slug, huh? That's unfortunate. Okay, the beginning of each player's upkeep. So, end of turn, I could bounce this, and then I could replay it and equip. Beginning of each player's upkeep. Yeah, that's fine. And then, okay, think. I mean, I'm gonna use this brainstorm anyways because it's gonna take all my dang mana anyway. So I only need 3 to return. Okay. Brainstorm. Okay. Oh, Jace might be nice. Or no, I'm just gonna take all my mana next turn anyway to do that. Oh, wait a second. If he doesn't attack, then I can suit up Trigon Predator with 1, 2 to cast it, 3, 2. I can suit up Trigon Predator with Sword of Fire and Ice, and just win that way if he doesn't attack here. So I want to draw the Stoneforge Mystic. So I'll put the Pierce on top and then the Jace. He's going to swing with the Hellion here. So I can block, gain a bunch of life, and yeah, okay. Right. I'll go ahead and block here. Because next turn, that's all I'm doing is on the Trigon Predator. Okay. And then I may as well bounce that. Okay. And Stoneforge Mystic. Yes. Sword of Fire and Ice. Play Sword of Fire and Ice. Equip to Trigon. And swing in for the win. Alright, how about that? That was not one that I thought was going to turn my way, but I guess so getting the Batter Skull there was clearly the right decision. It bought me a bunch of time instead of just getting the Sword of Fire and Ice earlier was just going to put me on sort of the back foot. I would have been able to hold off the Stormbreath Dragon, but I think positionally getting that Batter Skull out and then him not having an answer for it clearly was the it allowed me to get so out of distance here, and plus having the vigilance on it and everything. So yeah, so interesting match. My opponents appears to have lost connection to the game. I will go ahead and end here because it's GG and he can't actually do anything to stop this. So I will go ahead and end the match here. So 4-2 finish, which includes one game that I had to scoop because I was moving, couldn't make the round, and then one game where my opponent had to scoop. So that kind of balanced out. There were forfeits each way. So effectively 3-1 in actual matches played. And we'll just have to wait and see. With everyone having to play it out and no intentional draws anymore, I think I have a pretty good shot of making it to the top 8. But I've been told I have pretty good breakers by one of the guys that does all this math. So we'll see. But yeah, it looks good. If I don't make it, then I don't. But certainly a fairly successful outing. Going back to Bant Excalibur build, a Noble Fish, that's a little more in my wheelhouse after trying that Tezzeret control deck last time. So anyways, thanks for joining me, and if I made top 8, there'll be some more vids. If not, it's been good covering this with you, and I'll see you guys down the road.